Hello?
Casey Ryback.
Hey Casey, welcome.
Hello, hello.
Oh, we're here once again in beautiful New Zealand for our last trip, and a bit of a it's almost like the land of the long white cloud doesn't want to see us leave, putting all this rain on.
It's a bittersweet flight, the ultimate flight.
Hi, how are you? Does anyone know we're flying in this?
I don't think Heidi likes the weather we're flying in.
I'm still logging in. I don't see the weather right now. I can't tell you. A little bit lazy today, Nova. I'm missing the announcements. Group flight, empty, flight plan, empty.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I was too occupied putting it out on Twitter.
User joined your channel.
Hey, Kruger.
Good day, Freddie.
There you go.
Hey, Freddie.
Good day, everybody. I thought I'd surprise you better with my avatar than my voice.
Cute truck.
Yeah, I thought so too when I found it. I suppose that's probably what's next on their cards, I suppose. If they did, I wouldn't mind doing the voice of him.
Indeed, you'd make a good truck.
I'm going to taxi down and use one of the grass strips down here before I take off. So we'll taxi down there and then we'll depart and head on our journey.
Totally appreciate the taxi instructions. I wasn't sure what we were calling a runway here. I'm just trying to get through this gate the second time. Didn't work last time.
speaking of gates and stuff like that, and fences, a mate of mine rang me up only a couple of days ago, and he's a truck driver himself. Anyway, he drives B double, so he drives two or more trailers. Anyway, he pulls up at this house and he's backing up to this bloke's gate, and he's looked at this, stopped, and had a couple of goes at it, and thought, no, it's not going to work. So he jumped out and walked back, and the farmers met him at the gate, and the old bloke's turned around and he's gone, well mate, there's only one solution, knock down me bloody fence. He's gone, what? He's going, you can knock down my fence if you want, otherwise if you don't do it, I'll jump in the bloody truck and do it my bloody damn well self. So anyway, he's gone, righto then. So he's gone back to the truck, jumped in the truck, and he's wiped out around about 55 metres of fence.
Alrighty folks, so we shall get everybody down here and we'll head off to depart, and of course not only welcome to the pilots here, but welcome to everybody watching us along in the YouTube on the live stream. Welcome all, and enjoy our last trip around into New Zealand, heading down to the most southern point of New Zealand today as well.
As far as I know, this is the last New Zealand long white cloud flight.
That is correct. This is the last one. Right, I see three of us. Is there anybody else still taxiing down?
I thought Trickster was coming. I see him still parked there.
Oh well, he'll have to catch up with us. Alrighty, well, off we go. We'll head out now. Flight lead is rolling.
Plane, 12 o'clock. Plane, 3 o'clock.
We'll turn left as we head back onto course.
Left. Could you remind me again how I get your Twitch feed?
If you go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com, and then look for Novawing24, and it should show there as the currently streaming.
There's one, none.
It's all coming back to me now. Thank you. No, I think I read your post on prepared version 3 as you were going to skip the upgrade. Is that correct?
Yes, so essentially from my perspective and the information I've sort of done my research and having a look on the all the various forums and whatever at the moment, it seems to essentially be paying $200 for P3D 2.6. So if I had Oculus Rift and used Oculus Rift, yeah, different story, but I don't.
This
so
is nice up here.
not really going. So I'm going to skip this one until somebody can convince me of why I should carry it. Then yeah, I'm skipping this one.
And what the reason? Just buying the academic version?
Yeah, that was my question too, Casey of Nova.
Yeah, because I'm going to buy. Well, I already spent the 200 for the 2.5 or put 2.3 in the past, but um, okay, if there's no other solution, then at minimum I want to fly 3.0 and I want to enjoy all these updates. What coming maybe later for that. So
Just be
I'm
careful.
going to invest the 60 for the academic.
Yeah, just be careful of that one because it's a case of one of the clear things that they did say in there was the fact that they'd updated the DRM structure and the licensing profiles, which essentially means that if you are not an eligible academic license holder, then you're not going to be eligible to buy it.
Yeah, but they let me define what is eligible. At least they have in the past. As a matter of fact, they prohibited me from discussing on their forum whether I'm an undergraduate academic or a graduate academic. And I'll guarantee you I'm undergraduate.
Well, what they've done is they've updated their licensing matrix and to actually meant to make it more clear about who's eligible for it. And what they've essentially said is that if you are a undergraduate university student or a student in school, then you are eligible for the academic license. If you're not, then you're not eligible.
Who tells you that?
That's on the P3D website.
Yes, that's just written down, and they need to write it down for the public because of their policies and contracts with Microsoft. You will never get an issue if you buy one of these academic or prof license. Nobody controls you. You don't have to give them something. There's nothing.
Well, actually, if it's anything like, for example, I'm going to take Adobe as an example here. With Adobe, you can get an academic pricing, academic license for their Creative Suite. Now, to prove that you are eligible for that, you have to submit either a valid.edu email address or provide in physical, statute signed copies of university transcripts or academic transcripts and or student identification to be eligible for their academic license. And with the fact that P3D made it Lockheed Martin made it very clear in their features of P3D version 3 was that they overhauled and updated the DRM and the licensing options with the installer, which means that for me, the way I read that is that they are going down the same path that Adobe and other institutions have gone down, which is they will require proof that you are an academic eligible student. Now, of course, this is all academic until it actually gets released. But no pun intended. But it got there anyway. But until it actually comes out in a few hours' time, we'll find out more. But yeah, for me, I'm not forking out $200 for essentially something that I'm not going to use.
Well, I'll report back to you the status of the DRM and like that. And I'm afraid I don't choose to spend $200, but I will spend my $60. And there is a 60-day money-back guarantee, so we'll see how it goes.
But yeah, I did find it interesting that they made it clear that although they don't include the legacy SimConnect installers, they are going to be you can still use them and that kind of stuff, which means all the people that worry about other add-ons going to work, and it's kind of relieved. But it's still a case of these other changes under the hood. Are they going to break add-ons? Are they going to break experiences? And right now, just having got my 2.5 back up and running again, yeah, I'm going to stick with that. As I said, if somebody can provide me with overwhelming, outstanding evidence and conclusive evidence of proof that I should switch, I will. But at the same time, let's look at the introductions to it. The introductions were avatar mode. Okay, had that in Microsoft Flight. Cool, kind of fun, but how is it going to work with third-party aircraft, which have two very distinctly different models for the interior and the exterior of the aircraft? So if I'm switched to avatar mode and I'm walking around and I do my pre-flight, am I actually going to see the aircraft, or am I going to see, like, you know, a couple of bits? And which model is it going to choose? Going to choose the interior or the exterior model? Then look at, okay, we've got moving trees. Yay, moving trees, cool. Do we also have moving smoke effects? No, we don't. Moving trees, although something I greatly miss, again, I had that in Microsoft Flight. Am I going to spend $200 to see that in P3D? Yeah, not really. Do I have Oculus Rift? No. If I had Oculus Rift, absolutely, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. I'd be saying, yes, I'm buying it. I'm jumping straight into it. But because I don't have Oculus Rift, and quite frankly, I'm kind of not interested in getting it, then no, that's really a big key thing. If I have Oculus Rift, get it. But I don't, so I won't, kind of thing. Does that make sense?
It does. I'm kind of going with Casey's philosophy that I'm going to lay my 60 US bucks, not 200, but 60 down on the basis of continued updates and like that. That's where I am with that. And as far as all these experiments with DAFSIM and other concurrent multiplayer platforms, Prepared is my single player program of choice to join those multiplayer concurrency things. So that's where I'm going with it.
And as I said, I'll be very interested to hear reports back from everyone who does get version 3. I'll be fascinated to hear what you find of it.
I will give a report, and I will explore that licensing as thoroughly as I can, and I'll report back to you. I love Waterman's comment. Yes, and Pete Dowson is indeed on vacation again. Did you catch that?
Yeah. I did. But interesting enough, though, we know he's already been, he's already worked on it, and he's already made it compatible, because in a installer a few months ago, there was accidentally, he left a bit of code in there which said looking for P3D version 3. So we already know that he's compatible with it.
I think I read that. I think I saw on my last FSU IPC install that flash by my screen. So I'm gathering whatever I've got now, if I rerun it, FSU IPC, it'll find my version 3. Oh, additionally, I intend to run 2.5 point whatever I got in addition to 3.0. 2.5 will have all of the scenery updates that I just finished. Version 3 will not at this point. It'll be virgin until I figure it out.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's kind of blindsided a lot of people with, you know, how quickly it's sort of just been pushed out. But I think it'd be very interesting to see. I mean, PMDG obviously already seem to be on board with it. They've already sort of, you know, wholeheartedly supported it, and outlining that at the very least their 777 and 737 product line will be compatible with it from day one. Beyond that, we haven't heard from the other major players, of course. We haven't heard from Orbix, although we haven't heard from Pete Dawson. Dawson, yeah, of course, yeah, as I said, from the information we know, he's been working on it, so that's good. But yeah, as I said, until I hear more information, I'm just going to sit on the fence. I haven't been outspeeding everybody. I've just realised that the throttle's a bit up. I'll wind them back a little bit.
Here you go, guys. The statement of John Venema.
That's why I brought that other gamer tag of me along, so I can follow along without bobbering my flight sim.
Alright, we're just coming up on our first stop, which is an AusX airport, so people may or may not see it.
Plane, 3 o'clock.
Let's see, was I supposed to install scenery?
No, it's not one of mine. It's just one of those random ones that it comes in every now and again.
Yeah, Casey, I'm having a little trouble following your link. I'll try and catch up after landing.
Oh, yeah, yeah, you have to be
Have to be signed
Orbit
in.
registered?
yeah, you have to be
User
signed in
disconnected
then.
from your channel.
Yeah, I'm registered. I just got to go sign in. Let me set my Piper Cub down and I'll follow it.
Is that the strip by the mall there?
I was just going to
Um,
ask you similar navigation questions.
I did check this strip on my when I was on my pre-flights.
I
There's
think,
one.
yeah.
9 o'clock.
Yeah, I got it.
Well, based on the airport we departed from to start out this, I think my expectations of what an airport entails is a little bit too high for New Zealand flights.
Oh, my back. There's one.
Who needs runways when you got roads and shale?
Little hard on the tires, but it'll do. You did say shale, didn't you?
Yep.
Plane. 12 o'clock.
Oh, there it was.
I'll take your word for it. I'm diving to your point here. Oh, wait a second. This looks distinctly like an airport now. Looks like the parking lot of an airport, but that's okay.
Yeah, I think it's more of a helipad than an airport.
Plane. 12.
Am I coming in the wrong way?
It's one of those things there is no right or wrong way. That's what I love about this simulation.
What I presumed was the runway, I'm mistaken, obviously.
Plane. 2 o'clock.
No, there is no runway.
Yeah, it's a helipad. So we got the field here with the sheep, so that'll be right.
Plane. 9 o'clock.
Alright, we'll let everybody click that link and have a quick look, and then we shall take off in a couple of minutes. And like typical bush flying, it's find your own clearance, clear bit of ground to do your own takeoff, and then we'll meet in the air.
I'm gonna call this white patch the flattest, smoothest thing I can find. The road has much too much traffic for my liking. This thing right here. Oh, whoa.
It's a bit rough.
Never mind, I'm not using this. It's I'm in the snow or something. Something's grabbing tires here.
All right, so we're about to head over to Bluff and the last point of the mainland before we head on to one of the islands just offshore of the southern tip of New Zealand to the southern reaches of New Zealand itself.
Yeah, call me ready. I'm still trying to pick my way through the fence gates to get to you there.
So many fences, so many gates. All right. And flight lead is rolling.
Okay, I'm in position
Plane,
behind the
3
sheet here
o'clock.
now.
There's one, 12 o'clock. Ouch! Oh, my neck.
Always useful when you got terrain that falls off underneath you.
Yeah.
Plane, 3 o'clock.
This is why I've recommended everybody brings the Tundra tyres.
There's one.
It's definitely very interesting, the simulator base, and you know, and I must admit that in that forum post that Waterman made about how some people forget that, you know, when it was still actively developed by Microsoft,
There's
we,
one, 12 o'clock.
we paid a new license fee every 2 years, but at the same time, as I sort of point out, we're also talking, you know, $50 investment, $40 investment, not a $200 investment. You know, if you abide by the licensing rules, but no, it's and I think that maybe there's something, that whole thing of, you know, when we are looking at what is essentially a glorified patch, really should be sort of offering a discount to people who've been faithful to 2.x, because it's not as big a jump as was from 1 to 2.
Yeah, I will totally go with the glorified patch concept. Totally agree there, but I guess Lockheed gets to define to me what's a loyal customer discount, and it's not in the pricing. It's in something else less tangible, I guess.
There's one,
Yeah, I
2
agree.
o'clock.
A glorified patch, absolutely, not a full revision. As far as reasoning out the $60, I'm kind of considering it as a subscription. This is my every other year subscription to Lockheed's
Plane, 3 o'clock.
development efforts, I guess.
I suppose, yeah, that is a good way to look at it.
I mean, I'm willing to pay them $60, but not today. I tell you, I wait a couple of days, maybe a week, or whatever happened. I want to see the results of people, like they wrote in our thread here. I want to see the comments of people who are doing that, and maybe it will not get sold so much, and maybe yeah, they change their minds and lower the price and call it then an update or whatever.
Oh, they've committed themselves now. They won't do that, because if they did, then they'd have to do compensation and all sorts of fun stuff to people who do buy it day one. So we've got it what it is. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they handle it. That's for sure.
Well, one of my problems is I never had any of the out-of-memory errors or the other patches that need fixing. So even
Nope.
though I intend to
Aircraft,
make
3 o'clock.
comment, I never broke anything on 2.5.
No, nothing.
And that's actually a really, really good point. Is that I'm curious to know, who is reporting these OOM errors and all these problems that required this, major fix and whatever. It's a case of, like you, Bob, I have not experienced, knock on wood, that I haven't experienced the OOMs that have been apparently this fixes and all the rest of it. It's kind of like, well, okay, that's great, but I'm curious to know who's actually experiencing these problems. Are we talking people that are, academic pursuits like us, or people who are actually in, using P3D as an actual enterprise grade? We're talking the flight sim, the actual, not flight sim, but the flight training schools. Is that who we're talking about? Like, who are we talking about that's suffering these OOMs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'll have to leave it up to Casey Ryback and the gang that has Windows 10 to report the effect of DirectX 12.1 and stuff like that. I don't have Windows 10, which is another reason, another compatibility that version 3 is written for. I intend to, but I don't right now.
Well, I can tell you, P3D, Windows 10, no problem at all.
No, nothing. Since I always can tell it again. On the 29th of July, Windows 10 came out. I directly did a clean install of Windows 10 on the 30th, and on the 30th of July, I put my P3D on. And since that runs, I just added all my add-ons from Orbix, what have already a triple installer. Just them. I don't put them on without triple installer. It's too much work, and I don't want to hump around with some immigration tools or whatever. They're coming piece by piece with triple installers. I can wait. But everything what has the triple installers installed, I'm running Rex, I'm running ISN, I'm running my global mesh and stuff, and it never crashed since the 30th of July. Nothing. I can fly it whenever I want. I can put another add-on on. Nothing. And I still got always my 30, 31 locked frames.
Plane, 3
I'm
o'clock.
happy with 2.5, I tell you.
And that's that's a good point. Is that it's a case of if you do it for what it's designed for, then it works. And if you don't try and do anything stupid with it and actually remember what it is, then it's fine. I will admit the only issue I had was with EasyDock, because EasyDock's support of P3D 2.x is only ever in beta. They don't officially support it. They only beta support it, and that I did run into some issues with that. But that was just simply a couple of tweaks to permissions and compatibility versions to run under, and no problem. I now run. For anyone who's seen my review on the Milviz Phantom, that was all shot in P3D using EasyDock. So yeah.
And what I always can tell people in my experience right now, stop comparing it
Aircraft,
to FSX.
2 o'clock.
That is not the same like FSX. Never. You got a lot of good stuff on P3D. You have a better graphic. You have a better performance. And P3D is not made like the FSX was, that you can just screw around with all add-ons you want, and that
Well,
I know that
let's
the
be honest,
developers
FSX wasn't really
try-
designed for that either.
Yeah. The developers try to make sure that their software runs on it, but when I see the problems in the last couple of weeks, what Mr. Flight Engineer got, 3 times he reinstalled it because he was one of these guys. Oh, I have thousands of add-ons, so I must put them all on right now because it's just a better FSX. It is a better FSX, but it's not the FSX. It's not the FSX.
Yep, it might be
There's
ESP.
1 o'clock.
It might be ESP based, but it's still it's more than just being ESP based. It is its own simulator.
I mean, and don't forget, it's created for teaching, for learning, for people who want to be pilots, who having the perfect software to use that. It's not created like a normal flight simulator from Microsoft. But yeah, that's just my experience. What you have, if you be careful with that thing, and do just stuff what is really, really, for example, Orbix, you know, you read John Venemar's posts, they're always taking care of it. You know that Pete Dawson is behind them. These developers you can trust 100%, but I'm not trusting people like Aerosoft or PMDG, whatever, or FS Dream Team. What these software is tricky to install. I hear that in all corners when they're coming up with it, because people thinking that's an FSX, I can put all my stuff on. It's not. You have to be careful, and you have to know what you do.
I have to admit that I really want to know who, if anybody, has actually ever purchased that PMDG license. I can't remember what it's for, but it's like $4,000 for one of their products to work in P3D.
You got to believe the only purchasers are corporations that are required to stay legal. Oh.
You kind of want to hope so. But then again, if somebody's got that much money to throw around, well...
I got to assume Trickster is the unknown beast here in game, right?
No, Trickster actually is Trickster in game, so must have a.
There's one. 1 o'clock.
An unknown beast.
No, I was gonna say, can I spawn behind somebody? I didn't want to interrupt you guys.
Oh,
No, please, any of us. We're generally in the same vicinity.
Okay,
I
I'm gonna
wasn't
spawn
sure
behind
how
you.
unknown beast. Well, actually, I guess maybe I don't know that they're in a J3 Cub for sure, but they're flying like it. Trickster, do you have yet to enter the briefing room?
Yeah, I'm in game. I just spawned behind you.
Okay. There is no way I can find out the actual aircraft flown by a pilot like Unknown Beast without
Plane,
getting out of
1
the
o'clock.
game, is there?
yeah, without being briefing room, no. The only way to do it.
Am I too fast for you guys?
I could go faster.
Yeah, make sure that you take the carburetor heat off, because it's just for the warm-up. It's not for flying. Because when you fly with that, you will not have the full power on your carburetor.
There we go. I knew I'd forgotten something on the last takeoff.
There's one. 10 o'clock.
She's very sharp-eyed, old Heidi, isn't she?
Yeah.
How do you say something about your carburetor heat?
No, she just like she always points out the aircraft. Like it's like, oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, or just go ahead and open a window. She will complain and said she is cold. She wants to have some heat. Yeah.
Let's crack it open a little bit.
Change subjects here for a minute. I participated in the DAP Sim test last night that Carl ran. We had general success. A lot of us are happy. Maybe it is that we just want the concurrent multiplayer software to work
There's
so
one.
bad
9 o'clock.
that we're overlooking the warts. But the flickering and stuff that we saw previously, we think we've pinned down to only in the vicinity of a couple of freeware Orbix scenery airports. Other than that, it behaves pretty good.
No, that's interesting that scenery is affecting that. I suppose if it's Orbix, I suppose it'd be the client side would be loading more textures and whatever, so it would have that impact on how it separates that kind of stuff.
I can't. I'm not expert enough in the way scenery's written to comment on it.
Did I tell you I
the
was a Girl
experts
Scout?
we got around here was centering on that. We went to the after a evening of a pretty good, let me say flawless multiplayer experience. We went to the airport that was causing us problems on the last test, and sure enough, the problems reoccurred. And they
Plane,
were
10
widely
o'clock.
reported. The flickering, the rubber banding, the stuff like that.
Yeah, that's very interesting that it's more that it's scenery related rather than. Well, I suppose it's in a way it's kind of good that it's we at least have identified, or you've at least identified what the issue is being caused by, and interesting that it's scenery more than anything else, because I suppose you can rule out aircraft because you can is DAFSIM does that the one that allows you to manipulate what the substitutions are, or is that not a feature of that?
That's a feature of several of them, but DAVSIM is one of them. And just like Prepared, it's got an active developer. This guy Ben is in contact with Carl, bringing Carl up to speed on what works, what doesn't work, how to run a server, that sort of thing. We did
Plane,
think
12
we
o'clock.
found where there was a 11 pilot limit. Nobody could join after 11. We have to contact Kalo and see if that was an expected limit, or does Kalo have the ability to increase
Plane,
it, or do
2
we gotta
o'clock.
go talk to Ben, or what, Ben being the author guy.
And
Something? Sorry, did I miss something? Does Kalo already got any license for our community?
Oh yeah, by the way, that did happen. Ben, like Peter Dowson, was on vacation and returned and found Kalo's application and his follow-on email and dispatched him a server license right away quick. It's currently running on Redbox.
Plane,
Or
3
excuse
o'clock.
me, it's currently running on Big Box. We expect Big Box to also be able to host one of the other ESP engine things, either Prepared or FSX Classic, while it's hosting DAFSIM at the same time we're expecting. I'll give that a try later on today. The hosting two at once.
Plane, 3 o'clock.
on a side note, Bob, I seem to have not have the correct access keys, but these MS Flight's North America server's been having issues reported by the community for the last about 8 hours, so it may need a reset.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, I
Let me
need
make
just
sure
remembered.
you have the access key. Well, how are you getting these reports just for the heck of it?
I was on I was just mucking around before. Gimpy and I were we took up Robert James Richardson's Delta Dart up for a spin in Florida, and we're mucking around, and we had quite a few people join us. We were on the AU Steam server, and people were flooding into the AU server because the North American one, although it was visible, nobody could actually join it.
Okay.
Hey, I was down in Hot Dog yesterday. Why not told me? I can set it up if Robert is not online.
And I'll make sure. Well, no.
Will my
When
cell
are
phone
you
work?
taking your cross Australia tour via motor vehicle? When's that happen?
That'll be early next year, so we're looking at probably February for that.
Oh, okay. Some reason I thought it was coming up, and that was the reason for the termination of these iconic group flights.
No, this was the New Zealand tour is we've got to the end of New Zealand, and I'm going to take a break for a few weeks on my Wednesday nights. Though I have Wednesday movie nights planned out though for the future, so or Wednesday movie mornings for our US friends.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I thought I'd steal one of Laser's ideas because it's a brilliant idea. I do love those fights, although I usually, unfortunately, can't get to them. I do love those fights with the movie themes. Coming up here to Stewart Island, and this will be our next stop for the night. We'll do a overflight again. It's another Aussie X airport, so we'll have a look and see if we can actually see it and see if it's a helipad this time, and then we'll go from there.
Overflying the airport.
No, there's a runway. 422.
Oh, good.
620 meters. That's 620 meters by 0. What does that mean?
It means it's very, very narrow.
But it's bitumen, so
Aircraft, 9 o'clock. Plane, 11 o'clock.
I'll start throttling back and I'll turn my carb heat back on.
Plane, 11 o'clock. One o'clock. How do I turn on the heat?
User joined your channel.
Thanks.
Here we are. I have the little strip here.
what run are you taking? 22 or 4?
I'll take so the wind. I'll take 22. So I'll turn back around for a to go downwind.
Is this a date?
Apparently Heidi wanted to know if this is a date. I haven't had that line before.
There's one, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, anybody would think it was somebody from Microsoft planted all these trees.
Ouch!
Oops. Ding.
Stops on a dime, but I think Heidi's getting a bit tired of all the backbreaking landings.
Aircraft, 3 o'clock.
Folks, we'll taxi you back down to the end of the runway there, ready for our takeoff again. And what we'll do is we'll take a short 10-minute break here. We'll be back again at the top of the hour.
Yes, I am finding that coffee does me absolutely no good when it's all the way up in the kitchen and I'm all the way down here in computer room. I didn't bring my coffee pot with me. I'm going for it.
Plane, 12 o'clock.
Nova, is this airport part of the Australian tour airports?
No, it's not.
Aircraft,
This
2
is
o'clock.
part of the OzX scenery done by the Aussie X guys.
Okay, I don't have that then.
Are you sure? That doesn't look like for me for like Aussie eggs.
Looks like the Aussie X side things to it. It's definitely not. Well, put it this way, it's definitely not one of mine.
Yeah. Okay, maybe. Yeah. I see a green car there and a couple of people, but I don't know if it is Orbix or if it is Aussie eggs.
Pretty sure it's Aussie X because of the Oh, actually, no, it could be Orbix. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, now I have the green car.
There's one, 3 o'clock.
User disconnected from your channel.
There's one, 9 o'clock.
Alright, as I said, folks, and to everybody following along on the live stream, we'll be taking a short break here, and we'll be back again at the top of the hour, so we'll see you all shortly. Oh, and sorry for the streamers at home. I just realised I still had my mic muted. Sorry, but there we are.
User joined your channel. User joined your channel.
And one final question: did I get your gamer tag right, T-Boned?
Exactly, T-Bone. That's right.
New Zealand Flyers. This is T-Boned. He's over on the North American server currently. I invited him to our group flight channel, even though we're just about done.
That's all right. We always happy to. You can always stay for the sparking conversation.
I'll be around, guys. Just in another server.
Yeah, T-Boned, I was, as I said, I run that North America server. I was getting reports of poor performance, so that explains the reboot there. I think I saw you on before I rebooted. However, when I went to go reboot the North America server, it lost connection with Steam, so I was forced into a reboot.
Oh, I see. Probably I'm gonna have a really high ping because I'm using my cell phone internet. I'm not currently at home right now, so probably my ping is gonna be really high.
That's all right. One of the beautiful things about FSX is that ping really doesn't make that much of a difference. It's about the stability of your connection that counts.
Oh, I see.
So you're flying on the North America server connected through the cellular data connection that you've got, right?
Exactly. I'm gonna make a
Well
test
done, sir.
if it's possible because I travel a lot, and if it's possible to use my cell phone to connect, it's gonna be awesome.
I admire your abilities there. I've tried it before myself with very limited results.
Yeah, for formation flights probably it's gonna be terrible, but just to be around on the server might be okay. I'm from Brazil, by the way.
Yeah, we have, most of us have our flags of ISP nationality turned on. And yeah, I did notice your Brazilian flag.
Thanks.
It's one of the things I love about flight simulation is that it truly is a global global thing. In fact, actually, I was having a discussion with on Twitter with Amy from Dovetail, and we were talking about. I've coined a new hashtag, so I encourage everyone to use a new social media hashtag. I encourage you all to use hashtag FSXNation, and
Plane, 3
we're
o'clock.
joking about how it's for everyone, and it's like it doesn't, FSX is for all nations, and it's like, yes, exactly. That's why we all have an FSX nation together, because it doesn't matter where we are from the world, we all share similar interests and similar passions.
I'll attempt to follow you on Twitter. Is it you, by the way, FSX Nation?
So my Twitter handle is at Novawing24.
Okay.
But yeah, I encourage everyone to use the hashtag FSXNation. So yeah, it's a lot of memories of the old Cubs in flight here, sort of doing the whole hovering we used to do over.
Aircraft, 10 o'clock.
Where was that? Was it Apollo we used to hover over and like fly backwards, Bob?
And try and land on the buildings. Yes, indeed.
Ah, those were the days.
Apollo.
Oh, those halcyon days.
I'm still not clear on where we're going with Dead Simulator Appreciation Society. Do we still have servers?
Yeah, it's still humming along. So I logged in and tested the other day. So that flight that we only got halfway through will be back to conclude fairly shortly. So watch out for that coming on a Saturday afternoon US time in a few weeks.
I'm one of the few people that still do have Microsoft Flight installed on my hard drive.
I'm hoping that Waterman, when he gets his basement finished, will also be able to join us in that as well, because I believe he
There's
still
one,
has it
9
installed.
o'clock.
And I had contact with Mo as well over on the Avsim forums, and he's still flying quite happily in it, so going quite well.
Truthfully, I haven't, other than your Dead Simulator group flights, I haven't really flown Microsoft Flight independently. Kind of tying a couple of subjects together, I did notice when I reviewed a Dovetail Twitch feed that they kind of backed off that the 64-bit Dovetail offering would be based on the Microsoft Flight engine. They corrected themselves to say it would be based on all previous Microsoft Flight simulation technologies. I think their lawyers told them to say that.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Casey.
I'm just wondering why they are going now to tell, or those rumors around that they are using the Microsoft Flight engine. I mean, that it's all old crap. We have much better engines, what are maybe much easier to program today. And why they again going to old stuff from Microsoft? Why they are not using just the programmation and look how it works, and using a newer, much better engine for that? I mean,
Well,
that's what.
That's
Comment
the.
later from Novawing. Nova, take the mic.
Oh, I was just going to say, because I watch the same Twitch feed and reading various things and whatever. Much Casey, to your point, is it's about basing it on, and that's why it's been very carefully phrased as they're basing it on previous technology. So there won't be just reissuing that with their skin on it. It'll be they're looking at how it's coded, how it was developed, how it was made, and then they're making their own. So.
okay.
Yeah, it's what they got as part of that agreement was the whole they can look at the code and see how it's used, and then they can use that as a basis for their own thing. So yeah, that's the advantage of it.
Clarified. Thank you both.
In my opinion, to be honest, I feel that Flight Simulator isn't really good at aerodynamics, because rudder inputs still sucks. If you guys flown IL-2 Sturmovik, the rudder sense is much more alike the real aircraft, and stall and spins as well.
It varies with different simulators, and also depending on the add-ons that you have as well.
Can I have an add-on that makes rudder more realistic?
You look at something from the likes of AccuSim aircraft from A2A. Yeah, so pretty much anything from A2A that has the AccuSim add-on. They also do a generic. They also do like generic modifier for FSX as well to enable you to apply the AccuSim technology to most aircraft, and that will change your flight experience quite significantly.
Oh, that's nice. Never tried it. Because if you fly the extra and you try to do hammerheads and such maneuvers, you check that the engine torque and
Okay, question. Are you using the default extra or are you using Alabeos?
I'm using the default
Okay.
effects.
This is great.
Try using Alabeos one. very different flight dynamics.
Oh, I see. Probably that's the problem. Where can I download it?
Alabeo's one is payware, available from your favourite flight sim retailer, or directly from Alabeo.
Can you put on the chat later for me to search for it?
There we go. Thanks, Trickster.
Ah! That's
Sorry, yeah.
better than a roller coaster.
Heidi's loving this rough weather. So just as an example for you, like for example, I'm flying, well most of us here are flying the A2A Cub, which has AccuSim enabled. You actually feel the creak of the airframe, like you feel and hear the creaks of the airframe. It's very much got the torque of the engine and the rudder, and yeah, it's designed to make it feel like the real aircraft. And A2A fundamentally revolutionized how add-ons were done for FSX by the sheer quality and the amount of research that goes into each of their add-ons. So yeah, if you're looking for something very realistic and to do all the things that you talked about, yeah, definitely look at A2A. They have a price tag to go with it, but believe me, once you've embraced their products, you won't look back.
Oh, I see. That's nice. Because I have flown IL-2 for a long time, and I think that's an amazing simulator regarding aerodynamics.
Aircraft 2
And
o'clock.
I felt that Flight Simulator was a little bit behind it regarding aerodynamics and flight dynamics as well.
I'm curious, which version of IL-2 are you talking about?
I enjoy flying the older ones because it runs smoother, so I fly the
I
1946 one.
love that feeling.
And
Okay.
I didn't fly pretty much the Cliffs of Dover version because it's too complex for my computer. So basically I fly the IL-2, standard IL-2, and I used to fly online as well. And I think it's a great engine for that resembles an aircraft because you can feel the torque, the gyroscopic precession on the propeller, many other things. Damage on the aircraft, it's awesome. Close collision as well if you get a wingtip
Plane,
or
3
just a
o'clock.
propeller or just the tail. I think it's pretty accurate aerodynamics simulator. I would really like an experimental version of a civil simulator with that engine. I would like to see if with bigger birds would still fly really close to rudder inputs and such a thing.
Ah, well, the future, as I said, the people sort of said that flight simulation was dead and was going to be left in the hands of the arcade style things. They said that about 5 years ago, and I think the last 18 months have proven that flight simulation is very much alive and well, and yeah, with a lot of positive developments coming from various developers, you never know what we'll see, what the future may hold.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that simulation will never end because it's complex and it just went better and better with the time, and nowadays we have such a great experience with ATC and things we never imagined. So I don't think it's gonna stop. It's that's a matter who's gonna develop it and who's gonna be the leader on the market. But I think Microsoft won't let us down because they started.
I was going to say, yeah, you might be disappointed there because Microsoft have gave up on flight simulation back in 2012. They're not producing it anymore. They're done. They're out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure that they won't let it to another
They already have.
company.
They've So Microsoft sold the ESP, their professional version of FSX, to that engine to Lockheed Martin, who have developed it and beyond it into Prepared, Lockheed Martin's Prepared 3D. And then the other parts of the engine and the more entertainment-based licensing was sold on to British company Dovetail Games about 18 months, 2 years ago.
Oh, that sucks. But
Well,
I think
actually,
we
no.
should worry.
Actually, well, no, it doesn't. I disagree with that, because it means that we actually have developers now who care about it and who are interested in it to actually produce new and better versions of what's out there and to create, new products. So no, I think it was actually possibly the best thing that's happened to simulation in a very long time, for the fact that we went from a developer that was that yes, pioneered it, but in the end gave up on it for reasons that we won't get into, but at least they were willing to pass the baton and the torch on to people who are passionate and who care about it.
Yeah,
That's
I agree
true.
with that. Microsoft giving up the licenses was a good thing for the sport, for the hobby.
So technically, the British are going to develop it, the civil version, the entertainment version.
Yeah, so Dovetail Games, they're the custodians of FSX now. So the FSX on Steam, that's it's not just the old FSX Gold. They have actually patched it and tweaked it, and they're continuing to work on it and do give it as many improvements as they can within their licensing agreement with Microsoft. So they are working on it, and but beyond that, they do have plans. They announced plans some time ago that they will be producing their own flight simulator, which is at this stage scheduled for release in sometime in 2016, which will be based on is based on the technology of that Microsoft pioneered, but with their own in-house development of it.
Well, that's nice.
Robert, do you have Aussie X installed?
Yes.
So, as you followed my track, did you see all these little tiny cabins? The smoking chimneys?
Maybe I don't have it installed. No. I don't see those cabins. What I've got is a installation including Aussie X in my Classic Edition, and I've got Carl's pointers pointing to those installations for my Steam Edition.
Okay.
But, oh, wait a second. Never mind. I have a cabin here. I'm just not looking close enough. I'm passing it right now.
That's what I mean, yeah.
They sneak up on you. They
User
appear out of
joined your
nowhere.
channel.
I was focused more on, well, this looks like a southern tip of something. Are we running out of land? That's what I was focusing on.
I almost wish Clock was here. There's these beautiful cliffs here for him to enjoy.
Miss Clock, yeah.
Has anybody heard from Clock? I haven't seen or heard from him for a while.
Within a week, within the last week, but not very recently.
Yeah, the other day where they had this memorial flight, he was there. Maybe a week ago or something. I saw him flying with Hawk Dog, and yeah, there was a kind of memorial flight.
And Novawing, is there any way you can attend the Friday Western Hemisphere final fight for Doug?
That is my intention. I do intend to be there. Hopefully I can be there for the whole flight. Not sure if I have, well, towards the tail end I will be, but I've started my my preparatory flight. I've been taking an F4 Phantom from Los Angeles. At the moment it's being refueled in Albuquerque, and I'm on my way to the starting airport, so I'll be putting a few screenshots out of my journey there, and I invested in the Nemeth Design CH-47 to be able to partake of the memorial flight on Saturday.
That makes me very happy that you be there.
So I shall be flying the flag in Steam Edition for anybody who will be doing that.
This particular one, you know, I have all of them installed. I'll stick with the box.
Yeah, stick with box.
Edition, for that one.
No, that's understandable. Look, the only reason why I'm not in box is because I don't have it installed.
You understand?
I just want to stay up here all day.
Can you guys hear me well with this microphone, or is too?
Oh, perfect.
That's
Crystal
perfectly
clear.
clear, thank you.
Thank you.
Plane, 3 o'clock.
I might, regarding sound and the North American server, you guys do know I've turned on channel, radio
That's
channel.
better than a
specific
roller
sound
coaster.
in there. It was supposed to be a temporary agreement with a few pilots who were requesting it. I don't know how to get myself out of it now, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do about sound in the North American Steam server in-game chat.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
never really did get approval to do that, and I don't know how to get out of it now.
Oh, when you take the server down before you log on again, there's down below a settings button.
I was
Well,
gonna
no, I
say,
know how
just
to
be
fix it.
arbitrary and do
I
it.
just don't know how to make the pilots that are using it nowadays continue to be happy and come back. The problem is these pilots don't come over to our community. They don't come over to our TeamSpeak. And they requested of me in-game voice. I said, I can't do that. How about for today, we'll use radio channel specific voice, and I'll turn it off tomorrow. Well, I never turned it off. You guys know I'm far too much of a softie to be bearing a badge.
I was gonna say it was interesting actually because there was a member was talking about some server stuff in the forums a couple of days ago, and they were asking about the chat and stuff, and I mentioned that, you know, at the moment at least we're trialing the in-game voice being switched on in the North America server.
Well, then we'll leave it as a continuing beta test trial, but truthfully, with this radio-specific in-game chat, I'm not getting any of the TeamSpeak crosstalk complaints that was one of the main reasons we didn't turn it on in the first place. There was a bug in Steam whereby if you were in briefing room chat, you could hear some crosstalk. I haven't heard
love that feeling.
lately either. Maybe it got fixed in the last patch.
No, that's still happening.
This is great.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe you remember, if you want to get rid of that talking, you have to go into your sound settings inside the FSX and switch off voice. Just untick it there.
Well, you know, maybe that's why I don't remember hearing it, because I followed your advice last time and did that on my personal side.
Ugh.
Oh, it was a bit rough over the top of this mountain.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a heavy thunderstorm in front of us there.
I'm glad I picked the adventurous Heidi, the fun Heidi now.
It's better than a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I love that feeling.
I'm a bit lost in these Vancouver taxiways. I'm on mic. I'm not really sure where I'm supposed to go.
Woohoo! Ah!
Within our community here, the host airport doesn't really bear much significance.
Ugh.
There's no ATC at the host airport. It's just sort of a place we pick. So, yeah, you're not obliged to fly in the Vancouver International Airport, but that is the host airport on Steam.
In fact, we usually recommend not flying anywhere near the host airport.
Oh, I see. I'm gonna fly the Caravan around here. I think I'm reaching the threshold. Finally.
At this hour of the Western Hemisphere morning, you can get away with that, but often you find
I
the
love that
children that don't
feeling.
really know what they're doing fly around the host airport. So that's why Novawing advised avoid the host airport.
Or as we often say, the $5 punks.
Which I didn't want to say, because these young pilots are our future.
Very true, very true.
I'm glad that I'm
Is
not
it
a $5 punk. I'm running through the free beta what they gave me. But my server, if I run my server, that's the $5 stuff.
I always remember that there was that server that was up for a while, which was actually called $5 punks.
Oh.
I recall that, yeah.
Now the reason why I told to everybody to pack your Tundra tyres today is because last stop right on the southern tip of this island does not have an airstrip. We're going to be finding a clearing and landing our cubs in it.
I used to be good at this sort of stuff.
It's been a while since the old flight days, Bob.
Indeed.
Okay, taking off from 08 left here.
Back when I built this client-side computer, I upgraded the solid-state drive dedicated to the flight sims to 750 gigabytes, wondering what the hell would I ever do with all that space. Well, with the addition of prepared version 3, it'll be full.
Yep. I know the feeling. As I said, I got a 512 which is dedicated just to FSX. Nothing else is on that drive.
Actually, my problem is I have my Orbix scenery installed twice, once for Classic with the pointers from Steam to the Classic Orbix install, and then again for Prepared. So I've got a duplicate there. That's the majority of that space use. But
Yeah.
I barely got room. 145 gigabytes left to fit in whatever's going to happen with a independent installation of prepared version 3.
Yeah, I've got the 512 for FSX and a 260 for P3D.
Here's one, 12 o'clock.
I must admit, if there was a way for me to bring the Super Cub from Flight into FSX, I would definitely do that.
Well, the one thing I haven't been paying any attention to is Stone Lance's toolkit and how that might be progressing. Do you know anything about that?
I must admit, I haven't checked for a few weeks, but last check is that he seems to have perfected the ability to bring FSX BGL files across into Flight. Complete with scenery objects and including some of the custom scenery objects and custom BGL files from FSX. He hasn't said whether or not it supports third-party BGLs, but it definitely seems to support the basic ones from FSX.
Well, I'm going to follow your lead on that. The only association I have with Microsoft Flight anymore is Dead Simulators Appreciation Society, so I'll take my cue from you on what we got to do.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the default areas. I think I've looked at bringing stuff across, but I don't think I will. As fun as it would be.
Yeah, I have got way too much going on in these various simulators, especially with this concurrency project that seems to have taken the community's fancy these days. I've really got to learn to be a server operator on whatever platform we end up deciding on. And I'm hearing from my friends that they really want DAFSIM to be the one to work, and it seems to hold promise.
Well, yeah, as I said, I've always said I hope that we get one that works, and I know Casey's been a proponent of the concurrency for quite a while, and I think that it seems that they've all matured far more than they were about 3 years ago when I sort of first dabbled in them. They were very immature pieces of software, but they seem to be a lot more mature now and holding a lot more promise across the board. My actual curiosity thing would be with the DAFSIM one is that can I run it on a second PC, or do I have to run it on my main simulator PC? That's one thing I would really like to know.
I also can show benefit by stringing a couple of PCs together. It's about time to build a new client side. This one, although it was state of the art 2 years ago, that was 2 years ago, you know?
Oh, yes.
Mine one was 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's the era of the one I'm using as a server now.
Yeah. It's a good notebook, but it's old already. I want to to get a good desktop now.
gonna see if I can low down, get the lower altitude, and get out of this storm front as we make our last couple of turns before finding our final stop, which should be interesting.
I've dropped back far enough, a mile or mile and a half, so you can decide where we land, and I'll follow you in.
Did I mention? My co-pilot services do not come cheap.
I'm not quite sure how to take Heidi's last comment to me. It was, my co-pilot services to you do not come cheap. Not quite sure how to take that.
Yeah, where did we get these phraseologies?
If you're running the A2A Cub, you can put a young lady in the front seat, who's by the name of...
Heidi, but where did she get her script, as it were? Who writes this stuff?
A2A, but you need to change her personality. I recommend changing her personality to fun. I've flown with a nervous one, Heidi, once, and I wanted to throw her out.
She makes comments while flying.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That must be fun.
It's interesting. It adds a new dimension to it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I remember FS Passengers. Have you ever tried it?
Yeah. There are a couple of funny comments too.
There's another user here on the North American server. He's flying Baron. I'm doing just touch and go landings with my Caravan. Let's see what he's into.
Well, here we are, the most southern point of New Zealand.
We're gonna go for that little tiny island?
I was thinking about it, but it's very a lot of trees on that one, so I think we're going to go up the top on the hill up here on the left, and we're going to survey the terrain below us.
Overflying the land masses then, okay.
Maybe with 10 knots more wind, we can land here on that little tiny island.
Yeah, we're just coming to hover it in.
Yep.
There's one, 3 o'clock.
Just see trees. Are you sure that there's a spot where we can land?
I'm going to go to the top of the hill up here on our left.
Okay.
Plane, 11 o'clock.
Going to go over the crest of this hill and looks like some flat, semi-flat land just over the edge of it. So we're going to touch down over here, I think.
I copy the flatland. I see it.
Let's go on top of the hill here. The wind is cool.
Third one, 1 o'clock.
But I can roll up.
Ugh. Aircraft, 3 o'clock. Two o'clock.
Well, other than my tail sinking into the grass slightly,
There's one, 2
we're here.
o'clock.
Oh, perfect. Stop, Bob.
No, I was supposed to hit the crest of the hill and I missed it. Now I can't get up the hill.
Yeah, just park it there.
I'm afraid I'm gonna have to. I'm stuck.
Plane, 12 o'clock.
Parking brakes, Bob?
Third one, 1 o'clock.
Well, I'm attempting to make it up to the crest of the hill. I thought I'd try a running start. There you go.
Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining me on this the tour. The tour's been going for some time, and as I said, I want to say thank you to everyone who's joined us for some of them or all of them, and thank you very much. And as always, and also thank you to all the YouTubers who've been watching along on the stream.
Plane,
When I
12
found
o'clock.
out it was the last one, I couldn't miss it. I
Excellent.
apologize for those Australian tours and long white clouds that I did miss. They were all for good cause, but I attempted to hit everyone that I had a computer in front of me with.
That's right, Bob.